So I'm glad that you guys are able to join me this evening. And I started to talk about the presidential election. The election season is upon us, and we have just a few more hours before we know what's going on in terms of who's going to be the next president of the United States. And, you know, a lot of things transpired this election season, a lot of things that I didn't experience before. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of hate, a lot of fear. We saw a lot of people who who we live amongst, who we just always thought were our friends, coming out and saying things that were hateful to us and things that are hurtful to us, and we saw people just feeling uncertain about the next steps, feeling uncertain about what's going to happen next, what's going to be next, and those feelings are okay, but we can't let them overtake us. We can't let them overtake us. While we're concerned about the leadership of the country, we also more so have to be concerned about the leadership of our homes, right? We're putting all this attention into the presidential election, rightfully so, because collectively, whoever leads the nation is going to affect us. But who's leading our household? Who's leading our household? But more importantly, who's leading us? Who's leading your life? Who is leading my life? Who is leading your children's lives? Those are the most important things for us right now. We're all concerned about Hillary. We're concerned about Trump, rightfully so. I'm not saying that. But let's put the focus where the focus needs to be. And the focus needs to be on our families. The focus needs to be on ourselves. And we need to make sure that we're doing the right things to set ourselves up for the future, to set our children up for the future, and to make sure that we will be able to carry on a legacy and leave a legacy. So I'm not saying not to be concerned, and I'm not saying that, you shouldn't go out and vote. You definitely should. But I'm saying shift the thinking a little bit. Shift the thinking about how you are leading your lives and how you are leading your family. And tonight I want to talk about abundance. Abundance means that there's not a scarcity of anything. Every single thing that you need is going to come to you. Every single thing that you need right now for this moment, you already have. You already possess. And every single thing that you need in the future, you will possess. But you have to have an abundance mindset. You have to know and you have to believe in your heart that you already have everything you need. And everything that you desire, you will acquire. Okay, many of us operate from a scarcity mindset, and so when things like election comes around, when other things that happen at the job, we start to retract, we start to get scared, we start to wonder, well, what's going to happen here? We start to wonder what's going to happen with our finances, rightfully so. I'm not saying that as a human being, you're not going to be concerned about those things. What I'm saying is that in your mindset, you have to program and you have to believe that every single thing that you need and every single thing that you want is going to come to you. And so that's living in an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. A lot of times, things that we believe were imprinted into our minds from the time we were children, right? Money is the root of all evil. If money is the root of all evil, and many of us were raised in religious homes, then what is our output going to be? Our output is going to be that we're never going to have a lot of money. Why? Because it's the root of all evil. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to live a holy life, right? We're trying to live a God-fearing life for the most part. And so if we're trying to live a God-fearing life and money is the root of all evil, then how are we going to really attract money? Right? So we have to try to change our mindsets. We have to try to change the way that we think from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, and know that everything that you have, you can attract once you implant that into your mindset and once you fully believe it and have the faith for it. And so money is one of the things that many of us have a bad relationship with. Money is the root of all evil. I just need to make enough money to be comfortable. What is comfort? What is comfort? And why don't you want to make all the money that you could possibly make so that you can set up yourself and so that you can set up your family? And nobody's talking about worshiping money. Nobody's saying to make money your God. Nobody's saying that you're going to kill and rob and steal and be dishonest in order to get it. But why not say to yourself, money is something that can make my life comfortable and can set me up for generations. And I want as much of it as I possibly can attract to me in an ethical way, in a fair, honest, and ethical way. Why not? Why are we always thinking the opposite? Why are we always thinking, okay, I don't need to make so much money. I just need to make this amount. Why are we always limiting ourselves? When we're limiting ourselves, we're experiencing and we're working from a scarcity mindset. And so I encourage you to think about some of the limiting beliefs that were implanted in your minds from sometimes from some of us from the time we were children. We grew up with it. We passed it down to our children. It was passed on to us from our parents, and we passed it down for generations. And then we look back and then we think to ourselves, well, why haven't I been able to set up my generation? A lot of times it's because of these self-limiting beliefs that we have. And one of them is it surrounds scarcity. It surrounds holding on to every single thing. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't save your money. Definitely you should save your money and try to build your future. But you should also think from a standpoint that I'm going to work hard. I'm going to continue working. I'm going to set goals. And everything that I want is going to come to me once I put out the resources. So money is one thing, but there are other areas where we have this scarcity mindset. We have this scarcity mindset oftentimes when it comes to our gifts. Right? How many people I know, they're so creative and they're always holding on to a gift for something. They're saving that song that is within them. They're saving whatever that creativity is. They're saving it for the right time. They're saving it for the next time. They're saving it for whatever, I don't know. You know how many times, and I'm speaking from myself as well, there are many times when I'm a writer, there's something that comes to mind, I want to write about this, and I say, this might be a better time to write about it, probably next month around this time. And so I think about it and I put it down. You know what happens to dreams and goals that you try to save and try to hold on to because of scarcity? You usually lose it. The very same thing that you're trying to do with scarcity is to hold on to things. And because of scarcity, holding on to things, you actually lose it. And so we practice scarcity with money. We practice it with our gifts. When we have gifts and when we have things that we should share, both tangible and intangible gifts, we need to share them. We need to share. There's no use of holding on to it. As a matter of fact, an abundance mindset says that the more that we share them, the more that we give, the more that is going to come back to us. So when you have a gift that you need to share, go ahead and share it. There's no sense in holding on to it. There's no sense in keeping it. Nothing is going to come out of it. And then the same thing with our love. Sometimes we hold back our love, right? Sometimes we hold back our love for whatever reason, I don't know. We're not going to do this for this person, but we know that we want to do it. We want to show this expression of love to somebody that we care about, but we don't do it for whatever reason. We're waiting for what? Christmas? I don't know. What we're waiting for? Valentine's Day? I don't know. New Year's? Maybe. So we're holding back. And then when we hold back, it diminishes. When we hold back, it creates more scarcity. And so what I want to encourage those on viewing today is to, everything that you have is enough. First of all, start from there. And everything that you have, you can share because you have enough. And you know that the more you share, the more it's going to come back to you. You know that anytime you need, you're going to have, you're never going to want because of an abundance mindset. And especially as it relates to not the tangibles, but the intangibles, our gifts, our hearts. How many times we had a compliment for somebody? Somebody did something good to us. Somebody did something good for us. And we say, I'm going to wait to thank this person. I'm going to wait to express my love. I'm going to wait to share this. Why? Go ahead and do it. Or how many times we see something good in somebody and we don't speak it. We don't speak because it's just a regular day. Around Christmas time, everybody gets, nice and friendly, and we start with all the cheers and the good cheers, and then something happens after where we feel that it's not the season to be jolly, and then we keep it all into ourselves. But that's not talking from an abundance standpoint. That's talking from a scarcity standpoint. That's saying we have to keep to ourselves, holding on to it, thinking it's not going to manifest. And then from a creative standpoint as well, think about all of your favorite artists, for example, when they had that hit song, they had that hit movie. Suppose they stopped there. Suppose they stopped and they thought to themselves, you know what, I've already created a hit. I don't know if I can create. Abundance isn't there. What would happen? So I'm not going to be on very long tonight. I usually come on and make it really, really quick. Okay, thank you guys who stayed with me. Good night. There was an issue with my connection, and I see that I lost a lot of you, but it's okay. I'm just speaking about abundance tonight and just saying that too many times we're holding on to things. We don't want to share. We don't want to share our love. We don't want to share our gifts. We don't want to share our money. We're coming from a standpoint of scarcity. We're coming from a standpoint where we are afraid of losing something. And so that fear of losing something keeps us from giving. It keeps us from giving to others. It keeps us from giving to the universe. And then it keeps us in lack. Because once we are holding on to something, then we're never going to be able to receive. So tonight I just want to share with everybody to live an abundance mindset, to implant it in your mind that every single thing that you need, you have right now. Every single thing that you want and you desire, you can have. Once you put it in your mindset that the universe is going to provide those things for you, because the universe will provide those things for you. So this is Monday night, and I'm not sure what's going on, but don't be afraid of the elections tomorrow. Don't be afraid of the outcome. I know that we have state elections, we have local elections, we have presidential elections. Don't be afraid of it. Implant in your mind that everything that you need, you're going to have, regardless of who's president, regardless of who's vice president, regardless of who's senator. Implant in your mind that everything that you need, everything that you want, the universe is going to provide for you. But you have to give in order to receive. You have to give whatever the universe provides for you. You have to give it. You have to use it. And as you give it and as you use it, it will be replenished. I want you to know that there's nothing you shall lack, but you have to believe it. I can't just say it. You have to believe that there's nothing that you lack, that everything that you need, you will get. Everything that you need is coming to you, and implant that in your mind, regardless of the outcomes of election, regardless of who wins, regardless of who loses, and know that none of the candidates can determine your purpose. None of the candidates can determine your calling. None of the candidates can fulfill the goals that you have for your life. And while leadership of the country is important, leadership of your families are important. Leadership of yourself is most important. And so go ahead, meet your calling, meet your purpose, meet your goals, continue working to them, and know that the universe is going to send you every single thing that you need to fulfill it. I apologize for the fact that we had a bad connection. Thank you all for joining me. And if this live broadcast message, whatever it is, if it touched your heart, feel free to share it with someone. Love you guys. Good night.